Today we want to look at a layout of a magazine, and we're talking about the international ones out there within the country. For instance, here in Kenya, you can talk of the Taifa Leo, as well as you can talk of the Daily Nation. So we got to have some professionalism that has been applied in our CSS file, and typically these are, think of it as a website that at the same time it's a website that it's specifically for the daily news, both internationally and the local ones. So you can really tell, and you can even imagine how the formatted of it can be to make it more accessible in a manner that it can attract so many individuals who may need to gather such information on social media. You have the references to every social media. Then the platform itself, you make it, you advertise it, then you make sure it's more accessible. So this is what I'm trying to think or to show you, but I'll show much when we come to the real website. So inside my HTML, the markup language, I've got some elements. Of course, there have to be images. So images for the logo. This represent, for this case, we can refer to it as for a company that does this. Then, of course, our new curriculum for this website. So it gives the details of this on the daily updates or weekly, even monthly updates on the progress of such an institution. So we got our effort to restructure our curriculum with a more project-based focus, but just the goals that have to be followed. So we've got some more references. The free code camp, of course, is on dialect, the targets the home page, and of course the date. Some references to different social medias for Facebook, for Twitter, for Instagram, LinkedIn, and for YouTube. Then of course there's some information that gives more details about the history of his, the main goal, and so on. So it's just the same thing, but just the information at large. So I won't talk much about it because it is something that has to be there to give more information. Okay, I'll go straight into my HTML. The CSS file. So through that link, and there's some styling properties that I need us to know about. Of course, you are aware of how to align these using commas. That means you can style more selector elements at once using that comma. Then, as of course, for asterisk, before or after. So this means that even before you've declared that such element, the reference to there. So this one has to style both, like the whole document, the all element. I say to padding 0, margin 0, then box sizing, border box. I said there is a difference between a content box and a border box. For this case, a border box has to make sure that all the elements in this document are able to fit in by default, to fit in by default. That's why the box sizing is very important as far as this document is concerned. Then of course the default font size of our HTML, which is the root element, is always 16%, but this one has been increased to 62.5, which is to make it there's an information need to be seen clearly, and of course there are some information that has to have quotes, so it is important to have a font so that it's at medium, it's so that it is able to attract, even to make it readable enough. Then the font family, of course there are several. You can even look at the external ones through the Google fonts and use them offline. What else? The grid templates column. This one has to set some columns. For example, the minimax should be 2 rm. The rm is a reference to, it's relative to the root, so it will be 2 rms of the root. Okay, so minimax and the mini content and so on. So this one has to do more with the columns, how they are set, and I won't talk about them because the row gap is at 3 am. It is still relative to the HTML or the root element, which is the same as the HTML. Object fit cover for the image of that one. I'll try to show you. Then grid column 2 to 3. That means it has to set a ratio of 2 to 3 that column. Then grid templates column repeat 2 on a frame. This means that it will have to repeat 2 times. A row gap 1.m, say reference or relative to the HTML. Also, I don't think whether there's something new. Social icons, of course, they have to be distinct. Then the quotes, those are the words that are related, which have more meaning before or after the same thing. The lists, the display is grid. That means those items are aligned using the same formula, like that information that has been displayed, the image wrapper, the whole information will be supposed to be centered just next to each other. Then grid templates column, 2 column of this size, they have different width. This one is 2 frame and the other one is 1 frame fr, so it will be different. Then grid templates rows. This time round is about rows, not the columns. So you have the same but different layout for this case is for the rows. I'm sorry. Add media, I think I talked about this only screen, so it has to set it to a maximum. When the maximum of that should be 7, then the grid templates columns will have to be set to 1 fr, and the same thing applies to text the images and so on. So all said and done, let's see what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, this is what I'm trying to talk about. You can see how the it's aligned and it is well and smoothly belong. So you can make use of it. It's like a website where you can see many things. Thank you for watching. Kindly follow back for more.